Hey team, welcome to this teaching video. The purpose of this video is to explain to you how to use Google Forms. This teaching session will not cover sheets in-depthly. However, whenever you do create a form, I highly recommend that you attach a sheet to it. In order to get started, you're going to head to Google Drive. When you're inside Google Drive, choose the New button on the top on the left. After you have clicked the New button on the top on the left, you will see an extension menu or a drop-down menu appear. When that menu appears, click on the More button at the bottom, and then you will see the extension menu expand. At the very top of the extension menu, you'll see where it says Google Forms. Click Google Forms one time. When you click Google Forms one time, it's going to take you directly to Google Forms. In order to get started, I recommend that you title your form. Right here it says Untitled Form. It doesn't matter if it's a quiz or a survey. However, right here, this is what your respondents will see when they enter this survey or quiz. The title of the actual document or file will be located up here. And what I typically do is I name this item here, and then I click once here in the top left corner. When I instantly click in the top left corner up here, whatever I have typed right here populates in this area right here. After you have completed those two tasks, I typically head over here to the palette. By clicking on this color palette, I have the ability to be creative with how my project looks. You will see a menu appear on the left side of your screen. You can either choose a specific solid color from the theme color menu right here, or you can choose right here where it says image uploaded. And in this area, you will have a chance to choose from themes that are already available to you inside Google Forms. Along the left right here, you will see specific themes. You can click on any one of these specific themes, and then a list of images will appear here. On the far right area of the screen, you'll see this gray rectangle. You can use this to slide down in order to discover more themes and more images to choose from. In this area down here, the background color can change however you choose for it to change. When you click on any one of the colors here, you'll see the background color options available for that specific color theme. Once you've chosen one up here and you've chosen one down here, then you can move on to font style. Font style will take over your entire project based on the specific font that you have chosen. After you have made all of these selection choices, you can choose the X located up here in the top right corner. By clicking on that X, this particular toolbar will disappear from your view, but don't be concerned. If you want to change your style at any time, you can come back here to the color palette in order to make those adjustments. Moving on to settings. Up here in the gear, you will have the option of choosing whether or not you want this to be a survey or if you want it to be a quiz. Now you can make your changes to that decision at any point. I typically try to make this selection early on in the process. Once you click that button, you will notice a settings menu appear. General, presentation, and quizzes. I work for Clovis Unified, so my content can be restricted just to the users here in the school district where I work. If you are a teacher and you are going to give this out as a quiz, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you click this button right here where it says collect email addresses. Your other option is to put first name and last name as your first or first and second questions inside of the survey or inside of the exam that you are providing for the students. If you don't want to create that one singular or those two questions, then use this button right here. Presentation is located right here. Gives you a few options to choose from. After you have made any of those changes that are necessary for your quiz or survey, you can move over to quizzes right here. Typically, this will automatically default to a survey. You would only need to click on here for in the quizzes area to make this change if you want a quiz. If you have selected that this will be a quiz, you will notice that these buttons or choices down here illuminate after you have made that selection. Once you are finished with all of these choices, go ahead and click the Save button down here on the right. Setting up the responses. Right up here at the top, you'll notice how it says questions and it says responses. If you want to wait until the very end to choose this, it's up to you. I just want to emphasize that your answers need to be stored somewhere. So at some point in time in the process, it is important that you come over here to responses and that you choose this green box right here, because without making this selection, your responses will not be saved in a spreadsheet. After choosing this button right here, by clicking on it one time, you will notice that you have one of two options. You can either attach these answers to a Google Sheet that you've already designed, or Google can design one for you. I usually just have Google design one for me. Come down here to the Create button, click one time, and then you will be redirected to the Google Sheet attached to this form. Remember to click Google Forms in the upper tab in order to return to your Google form to make more adjustments. How do you design questions? When it comes to designing questions, there are several different types of questions available to you. This toolbar right here will travel with you as you move down your form in order to make any adjustments. Right here it says Untitled Question. Well, that's where you're going to type question number 1. Underneath this, where you have typed your first question, that's where you're going to choose answer options. So right here, I'm in this first question, and I have the ability to type whatever that question is. And then I also have the option of making several choices. With my students, I usually only focus on the top 5. However, if you're creative and advanced in your skills and you've been in this tool for a while, you're more than welcome to expand to some of those other options. So a short answer would be like someone's name, or it might be a specific sport that they enjoy, or maybe only a few sentences long. A paragraph might be the answer to a complex question like, what was the author's purpose for writing this story? You would probably want an entire paragraph for that response. Multiple choice, check boxes, and drop down. I'll cover over all of these in the next few slides. So I mentioned short answer, and now I'm on to multiple choice. This drop-down menu allows you to make the transition or the choice between what type of question you would like to choose. And then it's your job to type the question here. And then right here, this is where you give your respondents options for responding to the question that you have asked. Typically, I will type one answer here and then press enter on my keyboard. It'll drop me down to the next box. And then I will type that next option followed by enter, and then so on. So repeat that process along the way. And if you want to add other as a response option, you can click this, and that would be an option as well. If you want to delete any of those answer options, over here on the right-hand side, you'll see how this X is located here. Just click on any one of those X's in order for those answer options to disappear. And you'll also notice that there's a picture right here. If you choose to have pictures as answer options, that's totally acceptable. Maybe it's a geography question or a science question or a math question, an architecture or design question. If you want to include a picture, then you can do that as well. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice these 4 options right here. This first one lets you make a copy of the question that you are on. So if question number 2 is very similar to question number 1 with only a few adjustments needed, you can choose this button right here and then tweak or adjust any of those pieces in question number 2. If you've changed your mind and you don't like the question and you want to get rid of it, you'll notice the trash can right here. By clicking on the trash can, you would delete that question. Now, required is an option for you. If you toggle this on, it means that the people who are responding to this survey or quiz cannot skip that specific question, and they are required to answer that one. Over here on the right, you'll see the ... That gives you just a few more options. If you want a description to be loaded just below the original question, You can write a few sentences if you wish in order to clarify, to give information, to provide directions, or provide assistance to anyone who might be answering that survey or quiz. Over here on the right-hand side, you will notice that adding a picture for the question is an option, and it's invisible, which is kind of interesting. But when your mouse kind of hovers in this area right here, this little icon will appear. So if you want the actual question and not the answers themselves to be a picture, you can load a picture for the question. And it can just be a picture without being a question as well, providing clarity to whatever that survey might be. If you choose that option, this box will appear. Choose the search button over on the top right in order to search for specific content on the internet, or to upload information from your computer. Once you've made that selection, you can click on the image that you have selected, followed by the select button, and then the image will load into your form. Over here on the left-hand side, it would be located behind this box. So I made this little pop out over here. So in this region, you will see the 3 dots. If you click on those 3 dots in the image, you have a few options to choose from here. The alignment would be the top 3. Changing the image altogether would be this one. Removing the image or changing or adding a caption is located right here. This is what it looks like if you have chosen check boxes. So instead of the circles, you see these squares, which means that the people who are responding to your survey or quiz can then choose more than one correct answer. Again, all of these features at the bottom are located here, and then if you need to delete any of those answer options, you will find the X's located here. If you choose a drop-down menu, it is still your responsibility to type all that information in here, and then over on the left, you'll see this cluster of 6 dots. A coffee mug has a handle. This is kind of like a handle, and then you click right here, and then it gives you the option of moving these around. So you don't have to erase any one of these and then come in and then retype the information. You can actually just grab that handle, click, drag, and let go in order to move the order of those answer options. And if you choose that, this is what it looks like. So the individuals who are responding to your question would then click on the drop-down menu. The drop-down menu would appear, and then they would choose one singular answer response. The side toolbar on the right-hand side moves with you question by question. The plus symbol lets you add a new question. Right here gives you the option of adding a video from YouTube. The item on the bottom I'm not going to talk about too much, but it does give you the option of putting sections into your survey or your quiz. If you choose a YouTube video, you can search by content, theme, tags, or ideas here. Or if you have that direct URL, you can click on this tab, paste that URL into that space, and then find exactly the video you are looking for. If you were to go that route, this is what it would look like. You can paste that URL in and then choose the select button on the bottom left. If you choose to add sections to your survey or your quiz, you would choose, I guess it looks like an equal sign down here. By choosing that one, you have the option of breaking your quiz or survey into sections. So section 1 is demographic information, section 2 is data analysis, section number 3 might be short paragraphs if that's how you choose to organize your information. You can peruse the screen to see what those look like. Pause if needed if I'm moving too quickly. Now, if you make any changes to the sections, you are more than welcome to undo that. So if you merge or break apart sections and you have decided, oh no, I didn't mean to do that, the undo button will typically appear over here, and you can undo that if you choose. Self-grading quiz. If you have chosen to design a quiz instead of a survey, you would need to go in and design the answer key. So it would be your job to choose which answer is correct, and then you would determine the number of points for each individual question. Once the students have responded to all of those questions, all of that data should populate neatly into your Google Sheet as long as you have pre-planned that the Google Sheet is attached to the Google form before you ever started. So make sure that that has been well constructed prior to students or individuals responding to that survey. Here's the last piece of the presentation. You've gone through all that hard work to design this fantastic Google form. Now, how do people respond to those questions? My first recommendation is to click on the little eyeball that you see up here and to review your work carefully before sharing that content. Once you have decided that it is fantastic and there are no mistakes, then you're going to send that information somewhere. So click on the send button over here in the top right corner. And then for students, I recommend that they use the hyperlink right here. So it looks like a little chain, and this is where you're going to find the URL. Once you click on this chain, you will see the link located right here. You can choose copy right here and then paste that link wherever your teacher has given you the instructions to do that. So if your teacher has asked you to give that link to him or her using a private comment in Google Classroom, then that could be an option for you. And then your teacher can distribute that information so that you can collect data on your survey. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Have a great day.